Hari means basically that he's stealing, he's a thief. So he steals away all our extraneous material things that are impediments to devotional service, and then by his beauty, by his qualities, by his pastimes, he steals our heart. Therefore he's called Hari.
This is like second meaning.
Yeah, both meanings, they come from the idea that he's stealing. He's stealing our material possessions and he's stealing our mind. Both kinds of theft are going on. Of course, he also steals butter too. He steals the clothes of the younger gopis. So Krishna is a very accomplished thief. So basically, that is how we advance in Krishna consciousness. Actually, is we become attracted by these qualities of Krishna. And whether we have no material qualities, or we have no material aspirations, or we have lots of material aspirations, still, because Krishna has 64 transcendental qualities to an unlimited extent, we have, and because we're part and parcel of Krishna, we have a natural attraction to Krishna. And that our success in life comes from awakening that natural attraction, which is there. This is one nice verse. Nitya Sthira Krishna Prema Sadi Kavunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karya Udai, which describes that Krishna Prema, love of Krishna, is not something to be gained from an outside source. It's actually present in the heart. Shravanadi, when one begins in devotional service, beginning of hearing, Shuddha Chitte, the consciousness becomes purified. Karya Udaya, this love which is already there, becomes manifest. So actually in our own life, we also develop some kind of attraction to Krishna's qualities, or something in relationship to Krishna. Maybe we are attracted by, got a book about Krishna, and we're attracted by Krishna's philosophy. Maybe we're attracted by the beautiful pictures of Krishna in the book. Or we might have been attracted by Srila Prabhupada, who wrote the book. We might have understood this writing is written by somebody who has great realization. So we might be attracted by the realization of Krishna's pure devotee. I was talking to one devotee one time. His name is Ram Shraddha. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he was from India. So for us in the West, these things like sweet rice and pakoras and samosas, they were sort of interesting to us because they were something completely new, you know. But his mother used to make the same sort of kinds of stuff that we think is really opulent prasadam, you know, puris and kachoris and all these things. But when he went to the temple and he took the prasadam in the temple, it tasted so much better than any food that he'd had in his whole life, even though he'd had all these things before, and had all this sweet rice and samosas before. When he went to the temple, this is like something different. You know? And sometimes people, when you ask them how they became a devotee, somebody gave them some halava, and they remember what flavor the halava was, and they remember what it tasted like, even though it was like 35 years ago, they still remember how this halava tasted. So there's different, so the food that's offered to Krishna is also transcendental, and its qualities are transcendental. And the deity, sometimes people, they come to the temple and they see the deity, and the deity is so much more attractive than anything they've seen. Nobody dresses like the deity. If we walked down the street and we saw somebody dressed as amazing as the deity, we would think, this is too much, this guy is like, who do they think they are, But we don't think about Krishna, we just think he's appropriately addressed, and he's just very opulently. But even when you go to Mangal Arati and the deities dressed very simply, still the deity is very attractive. Because it's just that Krishna is so attractive that when you put ornaments on Krishna, the ornaments, they become more beautiful by being put on Krishna. It's not that It's not that Krishna becomes more beautiful because the ornaments are on him, but the ornaments become more beautiful because they're on Krishna. That's how attractive this Krishna is. Krishna is so attractive that the gopis of Vrindavan, they wanted to curse the creator Brahma because he gave them eyelids that would blink for a fraction of a second. Because for that fraction of a second, they couldn't look at the beautiful form of Krishna. Sometimes, we're doing something and it's late for greeting the deities, and so we get there a few minutes late, and we don't feel, heartbroken that we got the greeting the deities 2 minutes late, But here these gopis, just for a fraction of a second, they couldn't see Krishna. That was too much. Wanted to curse Lord Brahma, right? That's pretty heavy. And so, Krishna is very much attractive. And one time Narada Muni, he came through the palace of Princess Rukmini's father, King Bhishmaka, and he was describing how beautiful Krishna is, how handsome he is, how expert he is in so many ways. And Rukmini was just hearing this, and just by hearing how wonderful Krishna is from Narada, she decided, I must marry this Krishna. Nobody else in the whole cosmic manifestation, Brahma, Shiva, nobody else can hear this Krishna. Somehow or other I must attain this Krishna, just by hearing about Krishna's qualities. And so, we become advanced in devotional service by becoming more and more attracted to Krishna. And basically, the idea is it's in good conditions, it's more or less an automatic process, because we become attracted to Krishna, and therefore we render some service to Krishna. And by rendering service to Krishna, we become purified, and we become more attracted. Krishna reveals more of himself to us. So we become more inspired to render more service to Krishna. And then he reveals more about himself to us, and we become more inspired to render more service. So when we perform the service nicely without any offenses, actually, the more devotional service we do, the more we become inspired to do more devotional service, because Krishna reveals himself, how attractive he actually is. So basically, it's something that just gets better and better. As long as we're willing to as long as we avoid the offenses and we try to increase our devotional service to Krishna. Either we increase the quantity of it or we increase the quality of it, and Krishna reveals more of himself and we become more inspired to continue. So those are a few words about this topic. Yes?